best y'all got. Tryna make a dollar, flip it like it's vinyl. Tryna make a way. What's it worth to you if the price too high? Quid pro quo, I need the best y'all got. Give me your best. I won't tell you nothing less, cause I'm giving you 100. How you always leaving me with nothing? I'm not impressed. It's gonna take more than this, cause I'm giving you 100. And I don't even know if I can trust you for nothing.
Well, good morning and good morning and good morning. I hope everybody wake up. Let's make this thing happen. Good morning, Anne Marie. Look at you being first up in the door. I like it. How are you this morning? Seems like we just saw each other. Y'all, good morning. Where is everybody at? We usually have a crowd lined up here on at 6:30 in the morning. Everybody's kind of sleeping in, I guess. Give everybody a chance to get in here and get going. So, Anne Marie, thanks for getting up with us. Being here, I'm trying to get my Facebook over here set up. Get rolling. And I'm really fired up about where we are today on the 32 things that successful people do. It's like it was a gift to me that number 25 is what it is, and I'm super excited about talking about it. So I really hope, if Anne Marie, maybe just for you this morning, and whoever watches it later, but that's okay. Trying to get my coffee started. Just came in from a run. And so now I'm just trying to get my day started. Where's everybody at? I got up at Anne Marie. My alarm went off at 4:45. So I think I got back from my workout last night a little after midnight. So I think I was done. I think I got home about 12:30. By the time I got in the shower, it was about 12:45-ish before I got in the bed. Had my alarm set at 4:45. I did not get up at 4:45. I got up at 5, but I got up at 5 and went out and did my run. So I'm not tired right now. It might hit me later, but I'm feeling really, really good right now. I actually really, really accomplished because today is day 75 of 75. So it's today's run was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool run, knowing that, and it was the best run I've had yet. So that was also pretty fantastic. So I am super stoked about today. Just like I said, I hope more people get here. I don't know where everybody's at. I'll send a text message out to everybody. I guess everybody figured I was going to be late. Here we go. All right. Well, there's Vanessa. Good morning, Vanessa. Wow, are y'all just kind of boycotting the 6:30 thing, or y'all just deciding you'll just show up whenever you want to show up like I do? Only I can do that. You guys have to be here waiting for this call to start so that you can jump right on and get rolling. I'm trying to get I've still got my running shirt on, y'all. Sorry. I'm glad you can't smell me. You know what? I'm glad you said that, Cynthia. I have been struggling with this time change too. I really have been struggling trying to get out of bed at 4:45. It has been, it's been hard. I'm not sure I've ever experienced it being this hard. But this time change has been tough for sure. So good morning, Cynthia. Good morning, Vanessa. Me and Anne Marie were just having a conversation. We just, like I said, I think we just saw Anne Marie and I. We just saw each other last night at, gosh, what time did y'all leave, Anne Marie? About 8-ish. The mornings are dark. Mornings are dark. So this morning I tried to run. So sometimes I leave my light on my phone and I run with my phone light on. just so it gives me a little bit of light because I haven't brought myself to run with a headlamp yet. They make these little contraptions that you can wear that have a little light on your chest. But I've never, again, because I don't consider myself a runner, that would not be something that I would purchase. So I typically just run with my phone light on. But when it's like 32 degrees outside, my hands get cold. So I have to put my sleeves over my hands and put my phone in my pocket. And it kind of stinks. So needless to say, I ran in the dark. And when you're running, you have all these different, the holes in the street you can't see. And you're trying to remember where all the holes are so you don't break an ankle. And it was pretty tough. But I guess we're going to get rolling with 3 of us. I guess everybody else is going to be struggling with this thing this morning too. So we'll just get started. I suppose everybody's going to stay in the bed and we'll get rolling. But my name's Aaron Dwyer. Welcome to Thursday. Welcome to March the 16th, 2023. My name is Aaron Dwyer. My wife, Christy Dwyer, and I started a company called Exit Realty Lake Country. And every single morning, 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern, we get up and spend some time with some folks that we love and hopefully like us a little bit. But we started this call as an attempt to stay in contact with our agents a little over a year ago. And now it's evolved into 45 minutes or an hour of us sharing some motivation, some love, some insight, hopefully doing something, dropping some seeds and helping our agents get off to a good start in their morning and being a part of their morning routine. And because we know if we have a good morning routine, then we increase our chances of having a fantastic day. And if we can have enough great mornings and enough great days and we can stack all those together, man, we can create a great life. And that's kind of what we're all in the mood for, and is creating great lives for ourselves. So that's what we do every single morning. So if you're watching us this morning and you're live with us, then the deal is you get up and you say good morning and let me know that you're here. So I know I'm not talking to a blank empty space. If you're watching this later on YouTube or maybe one of the other Facebook pages, then we're glad you're watching this. Hope something that is said helps you through your day today and maybe either tie something up or plug something in that you've been looking for. So let's get rolling. Let's get started. Good morning, Michelle Tilson. Good morning, Casey. Hope everybody's good. Michelle Tilson, did you get done? Have you got your first workout in this morning? I was just thinking as I was making coffee, if Jared would be mad at me, I'd give you a hug after this first morning workout. When I got done with mine, that was the first thing I thought about. I looked back, I put a picture on Instagram this morning and sort of took a picture as I was running down the driveway and finished up, and I turned around and looked back at the stop sign and took a picture of it. And it's pretty emotional. It's kind of cool. So I hope you got your morning workout, and I give you a hug and congratulate you on your 75th. Well, just know that I'm hugging you virtually after your first workout or your 75th day, and welcome to day 75, y'all. We are here. We're at 75 of 75. And I'm going to do a post later and just kind of share with you guys some of the things that I've learned. And Michelle, I wish you do that too, and spend some time journaling today to really pay attention to what's happened and what's transpired and the person you are now, because you're not the same as you were 75 days ago. And that's what's so fantastic is y'all, I swear to you, it's almost like a gift from God. But number 25, we've been talking about the 32 things that successful people do that unsuccessful people don't do. And number 25 is where we are today. And number 25 is successful people create their reality. And if y'all don't know this, that is in my wheelhouse. This is like when I saw what number 25 was, because I never do this. I never, ever, not ever do this. But as I was starting my run, I looked at my notes to see what number 25 was. And I saw that it was create your reality. And I just kind of looked up at the stars and I said, thank you, God, for that, because this is my wheelhouse. And then I turned on my video to turn on my YouTube to listen to Eddie Pinero, because I listen to him every single morning now. And it's exactly the title of the video that I watched this morning. I can't see my phone. I have to find it on my, give me a second. I'll tell you what it was. I don't know what this is. Let me find the history here and find what I was looking at. History. Do it for yourself. And literally the first thing it talks about is changing your reality. And so that's what I'm going to talk about today. And I am going to do my best to organize my thoughts in a way that I can, because there were things in the video that he said, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's great. Oh my gosh, that's great. And I was trying to take notes as I was running. I'd have to stop and I start walking. They did good. Here we go. So this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about creating. Good morning, Kristen. How are you? We're going to talk about creating your reality. That successful people create their reality. And so there's a couple of different. My mind is just kind of flying around, and I'm trying to figure out a way to put this in sort of a structure, a framework, so that I don't rabbit trail this thing, because this is so super important to every one of us. This is so integral into what we're doing as human beings, into what we're doing as real estate agents, into what we're doing as parents and spouses and daughters and husbands and friends and real estate agents and world changers. I mean, all what we're going to talk about today is it's so integrally important. It's so centrally important. It's the core of life on this planet. And so the vision I want you to have in your head, because I did think about this, and this is kind of where I want you to start. And I want you to ask yourself a question. Are you a jellyfish or are you a shark? Are you happy with just going with the tide, just letting circumstances tell you where to go and what to be, just floating along, being pretty, just floating along in your own little deal? Or do you want to have fins? Or do you want to have the ability to direct your path? Do you want to have the ability to go straight forward with no rear view mirror? To go out and be a predator, to go out and be a hard charger, to go out and chase the things that you're supposed to chase every single day, and do the things go after the things you're supposed to go after every single day. Are you a jellyfish or a shark? And I would say that some of us are a combination of both. There's some days, Cat Williams, I know I love Cat Williams. And he's got a skit where he talks about a tiger, and he's like, the tiger's in the zoo, and a couple of tigers are in the zoo talking, and one tiger looks at the other tiger, and he says, "Are you sure I'm a tiger? Because I don't feel very much like a tiger today. You sure I'm just like a big old koala bear?" And these tigers are having a conversation, because tigers are built to go do what tigers do. Good morning, Heather B. And I think as humans, again, I'm going to go back to a point that I've made previously. Humans are the only species created that has the ability to not reach our full potential. We are the only species created that has the ability to alter who we are. Minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, month by month, year by year. We're the only species who, one, doesn't have to live up to our full potential, but also can change who we are and what we're supposed to be, or not who we're supposed to be, but what we are and what we give the world and what we let the world perceive us to be. We can change that on a daily basis. So are you a jellyfish or a shark? Successful people create their reality. Successful people don't respond to their reality. Successful people aren't a byproduct of their reality. Successful people aren't a whatever happens, and I'll just deal with it in my reality. Successful people create their reality. Successful people open up their eyes, realize they're a shark, and they go be a shark. Successful people open their eyes, understand this is what it is, and I got to go do it. So this is the image that I want you to take away when you're thinking about the jellyfish or the shark scenario. How many of you are awake this morning? How many of you opened up your eyes this morning? You took a breath this morning. Your heart beats this morning. You have life this morning. That means your reality isn't complete. That means your story's not finished. That means there's hope to do the things that you have in your heart to do. That means the story is not finished. That means there are more chapters to write. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about our reality. And he says that our personality is the product of our personal reality. that our personality is structured as human beings, that our personality is structured around what we see. It is structured around what we believe. It is structured around our environment. It's structured around the inputs that we have around us that tell us who we are and where we're supposed to be and where we're supposed to go and how we're supposed to dress and how we're supposed to talk and what we're supposed to think. That is your and my personal reality. So if your personality is a result of your personal reality, and your personal reality is a collection of the things around you, the things you choose to allow in your life, the things you choose to look for, the things you choose to seek after, the things you choose to go after. Because guess what? We don't ever seek out things we believe don't exist. We never seek out things that we believe don't exist. We only seek out the things that we feel exist. We only seek out the things that are going to help us in our stories. Because guess what? You are the collection of the story you tell yourself. I am the collection of the story that I tell myself. That creates my personal reality. That creates my personal reality, my personality. The story that I tell myself about my life, about my circumstances, about woe is me, or everything's great, or I'm not a runner, or I am a runner, or I can do 75 hard, or I can't do 75 hard. I'm not a great reader. I am a great reader. I suck at real estate. I'm a fantastic real estate agent. I'm an awful parent. I'm a wonderful parent. Those are all the stories, the collection of stories that we tell ourselves. And we are nothing but a large bag of flesh and bones made up of the stories we tell ourselves. But in the 10X rule, Grant Cardone says successful people create their realities. Successful people tell themselves a different story because here's the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation is you are the author of your story. You are the one who gets to create the story. Life presents, this is all life presents. Life presents for you the backdrop. Life presents for you the circumstances. Life presents to you the inputs. It presents a scenario. That's what life presents you. You are the one that writes the story. I said it yesterday in the meeting. Everything's neutral. It's our reaction to it that makes it positive or negative. Some people can take a situation and grow something positive from it, while the same person can see the same situation and they can be negative and they can go into a hole and they can pull the covers over their head. They can decide they don't want to get out of bed in the morning. They can make up all the stories and excuses that they want to justify the story they tell themselves about themselves. Because guess what? You experience the reality of the story you tell yourself. You experience the reality of the story you tell yourself, and the story you tell yourself over and over and over and over again. The story that you believe to be true over and over and over and over again becomes your personal reality until somebody like Aaron Dwyer or somebody like Christy Dwyer or somebody like Michelle Tilson or somebody like one of your mentors or somebody comes into your life and they say to you, they grab you by the shoulders, they look at you and they say, "That's not who you are. This is who you are." And sometimes it's very challenging. And sometimes people can shake you and tell you this is not who you are. This is who you are. And you don't listen and you keep walking and you keep being bullheaded and stubborn and you keep resisting who you actually are, who God has created you to be. Because God, I believe, creates for us this dream, who gives us this dream, desire, and vision, who gives us this birthright, this spark of ingenuity, this spark of genius, this spark of who we're supposed to be able to give that to the other parts of the world, to be able to give that to the people around us. God endowed us individually with that, because the beautiful thing about this is none of us are the same. We're all different. We're all unique. But we get into this life and we want our stories to look like everybody else's story. And we want our story to look like everybody else's story because we don't want to be anything but average. We don't really want to stand out. We don't want to make any waves. We don't want to cause any, we don't want to cause any drama. We don't want to cause any problems. So we go from being born unique and to just want to fit in. Successful people create their reality. Successful people take the scenario, they take the circumstances, they take all the things out there that life gives them, that life sets in place, and they pick up the pen every single morning when they wake up. Every single morning when they take their first breath, they pick up that pen, they look at the piece of paper, and they start to author their own story. Because I'm telling you right now, there's a pattern interrupt in your life. There's a pattern interrupt in my life right now. My story is changing. Mine and my wife's story is changing. Aaron and Christy's story is changing. We've come to a pattern interrupt. We've come to an intersection. The visual, we've come to an intersection and we've driven as far as we can drive. We've gone as far east as we can go. The compass in the car says E. So east goes as far as east goes. East never stops. East goes forever. But we've pulled to we're on the beach, man. We're in the Atlantic Ocean. We're looking out at miles and miles of blue water. We've gone as far as we can go. There are no more cities. There are no more towns. There's no more street. We've gone as far as we can go that direction. But that doesn't mean there's not a south or a north or even a west. Doesn't mean there's not more east. That just means the way that we're going right now and the direction that we've been going and in the conveyance that we've been going in has served its purpose. It's done all it can do. So now we look around and we go, okay, we really didn't want to change. We really didn't feel like changing. That wasn't something that was on our radar. But guess what? We're at this pattern interrupt. We're at this intersection. So now we got to alter our story. Now we got to change what we tell ourselves about ourselves. Now our reality is changing. Our scenario is changing. Our circumstances are changing. The backdrop is changing. The colors are changing. The logo's changing. Things are changing. There's change. And I can sit and stop, and I could sit in this chair. I could look out the window, and I could watch the sunrise, and I could watch the sunset, and I could bitch and moan about all the things that are changing. I could bitch and moan about all the things that are being taken away. I could bitch and moan about how good it was. I could look at all the pictures from last year and the year before, and I could cry and reminisce about how awful it is now versus how wonderful it was then. Or I can pick up my pen. I could pick up the proverbial pen. I could look at the proverbial piece of paper. I could understand the scenario that I see around me. And I could say, you know what? I'm breathing and I'm still alive. And just because I'm looking at the ocean, just because this road has stopped, it doesn't mean I got to stop. It means I got to find a new way. It means we got to find a better way. And guess what? You know what the God does then? Sorry, y'all. When you make the decision that you're going to be better, and you make the decision that you're going to live your purpose, and you make the decision that you're going to not only are you going to recognize the change, but you're going to experience the change full force, and you're going to walk into that shadow that previously scared you. You know what God does? God moves the shadow. He lights the dark. He changes the environment. He brings new people into your life. He upgrades your story. He upgrades your environment. He upgrades the circle of people that you walk in. He upgrades the conversation. He begins to show you other things that are possible that you previously thought were impossible. Sorry, y'all. He makes a way where there wasn't a way before. And that, my friends, is the power of this life. And that, my friends, is how you create your reality. Is you walk into the breach, you step into the change, you step into the moments where it challenges you, where you don't believe that you can do what you see in front of you. You don't become the jellyfish, but you become the shark. And the shark decides, you know what? There ain't enough food here. I'm gonna go over there and get some more food. If I got to swim 40 miles, I'm going to find some more food. That's what the shark does. The jellyfish says, oh, well, we'll just float around here and just see what happens. We may end up on the beach. We may end up in the deep ocean, but it's okay because I like being a jellyfish. So I'm just going to get tossed and swayed and moved and directed by whatever's around me. And that's not what a shark does. Good morning, Lynn Garrison. He makes a way where there ain't a way. But guess what he also does? Because here's the deal. Here's what changes your reality. When you see some other knucklehead doing something, and you know that other knucklehead puts his pants on just like you do, and that other knucklehead, he gets up and breathes the same air you breathe, does the same thing you do. He may have just had a different start. He may have just been at a different intersection at a different time in his life, but he's doing something that you now see possible. What you previously thought was impossible, you now see is actually possible. What you previously thought was not doable, you now see if that knucklehead can do it, I can do it. You now bring that possibility into your reality. Because here's the deal, y'all. Your reality is created by your beliefs. Your reality is created by what you believe to be true for you. And your beliefs are a combination of your thoughts and your emotions. And you can think a thought and you can feel a feeling. And when those two things combine, that becomes a belief. And that belief stacked over and over and over and over and over. That belief, one little brick by one little brick by one little brick, stacked on top of each other, becomes a reality. One little step on day one, walking and struggling. On day 3, trying to run. On day 10, wanting to quit. On day 20, my wife telling me, you know what? Our life is not going to revolve around you working out. Today 40, me trying to go to sleep because I didn't feel like working out, and her saying, you better get your butt up off that couch and go work out, because I promise you've not inconvenienced me this much to sit over here and quit. You better get your butt up. Today 74, and she looks at me and she says, I'm so proud of you. When that thought and that emotion come together, because this morning, y'all, I promise you, when I woke up at 4:45, I got out of bed at 5 o'clock. The only thing on my mind was going to knock out a 45-minute run. And I had the best run today that I've had in the past 75 days. It felt better. My legs felt strong. I probably could have run the entire time, but I didn't. I walked very, very short little distances between me. It was like really, really short, and probably could have run the entire time. I just didn't. And I got done, and I said to myself out loud, walking down the street, I am so proud of you. My personal reality has changed. My personal, you know what, Kristen, it hurts. My toe hurts. It's okay. It does. That's just the way it is. But it didn't hurt as bad as it hurt on Saturday. But I can still feel it. It's still there. But my personality has changed over the past 75 days. Michelle Tilson's personality has changed over the past 75 days. Heck, your personality has changed over the past 75 days. What you choose to believe, what you choose to stack, what you choose brick by brick to believe, that thought, that emotion tied together, those things become your belief, and that belief over and over and over again, that little brick, little brick, little brick, little brick, that belief then stacks up to create whatever structure it is in your life, your reality, what you're looking at. So many of us look at our lives, though, as a collection of the past, when our life and our reality is not a collection of the past. Our reality is who we believe ourselves to be. Our reality is the story we tell ourselves about ourselves. Our reality is truly the story. It's just a story. When J.K., and this is the thought I had earlier. When J.K. Rowling, who was, by the way, an undiscovered author. She's the one that, and I've never read Harry Potter. I don't even watch Harry Potter. Never let my kids watch Harry Potter. I think Jagger maybe watched Harry Potter once, but Harry Potter never was a big thing in our family. I use J.K. Rowling simply as a story, not because of the Harry Potter situation, but because of her and this particular situation. Thanks, Maggie. Do you think, because she's written like 17 books that are like this thick. I mean, they're just, those Harry Potter books are unbelievably thick. Here's my point. Do you think when she wrote her first word of the Harry Potter series, that she had some kind of idea what the outcome was going to be? That 5 books later, she had some outcome, how it was going to be? Do you think she knew exactly what the ending? Let me ask it that. That's a better way to ask that question. When she wrote her first word down on the piece of paper to write the Harry Potter story, do you think she knew exactly how the end was going to turn out? Or do you think she had an idea how the end was going to turn out? Or maybe she had no clue how the end was going to turn out, but she just started writing. And as she started writing, the ending started to change. As she started writing and she got into the flow of writing the story, that the ending started to change, that she had some idea, she had some target, but that target began to change and it began to evolve to what it is now, to what it finally became. And I don't know this because I've never heard any interviews with J.K. Rowling. I've never seen anything about J.K. Rowling's story. But I'd almost bet you any amount of money that what she believed the ending to be in the beginning was not the ending that it was in the end. And that's an important distinction for you to hear this morning. The destination, the end you see as you start this journey will not be the end that you experience in the end. Because what's going to happen, and I promise you, this 75 hard thing, I hate to keep talking about this, but it has been such an eye-opening experience for me. All it asks in the 75 hard challenge, all it asks is that you do these 6 or 7 things every single day. That you be religious in doing these 6 things every single day. And if you don't do these things every single day, the consequence is you got to start over. Sorry, y'all. The room is Jarvis. Shh. Hush. All it asks is that you do these tasks. And if you don't do these tasks, then you have to start over. But if you commit to these tasks, then you got to commit to these tasks every single day. Every single day and every single day. So every single day you stack a brick and you put a brick by another brick. You put a brick by another brick. There's no value in one brick. There's no value in a singular brick. We see a singular brick and it's just a rock. We see a singular brick and it's just a stone. We see a singular brick and it has no value. That brick doesn't have a value. That singular stone doesn't have a value until it's stacked with other bricks, with other stones, with other things that become what it becomes. So this single one thing that we do doesn't have any value. It's not till we do that single one thing over and over and over again in combination with the other single one things we do over and over and over again that create our story. It's not until you pick up the pen, not one day, but every day. It's not the one thought you have or the one emotion you have. It's the thought and the emotion that you have that become a belief that you believe every single day. Because I promise you, what I believe on March the 16th, 2023 is different than what I believed March the 16th, 2022. I promise you. What I believe is possible at this moment right now at 7:05 a.m. Eastern Time on March the 16th, 2023 is different than it's ever been in any previous March the 16th at 7:05 a.m. Eastern Time. What I believe is possible, what I believe I can do right now, Michelle used the word empowering. This has been such an empowering experience for me personally that I'm trying to transmute this emotion to y'all. I'm trying to give this to you so that you understand this. That your reality is a collection of the things that you do every single day. It is a collection of the monotony. It's the collection of the minutia. It's a collection of singular, non-important, all the little things that don't seem to add up. It's the little details that make the story. It's the little things when you write your story on that paper. It's the little things that make the story. Thank you, Heather. It is the little things that do and create and become the reality. Your reality, your personality is a reflection of your personal reality. And your personal reality is reflective of the story you tell yourself about you. So here's the cool thing. On this day, on this morning, every single one of you watching this, every single one of you that see this later, you can change your story right now. Guess what? We changed our story. I've had to change my story. I've had to change what I have believed about me, what I've believed about us, what I've believed is possible, what I have believed is successful, what I have set my foundation on. My foundation has been rocked to the core. But what has happened is all the things that didn't belong have been shaken. All the things that didn't belong have been stirred. All the things that didn't belong have been removed. And now my core, my foundation is stronger today than it's ever been. Are there going to be more challenges moving forward? Absolutely. Are there going to be corners and shadows and dark places that we're going to walk up on in the future that we're not going to know what to do or how to do it? Absolutely. One thing we heard yesterday in that video, life is not a perfection game. Life is an adjustment game. Life is a game of getting what you get and figuring out how to make the most of it. Life is a game of combining your thoughts with your emotions, creating that belief, and that belief being, I don't care what freaking happens. I don't care what freaking happens. I'm going to make the best out of it. I don't care what you say. I'm going to make the most out of it. I don't care if you tell me no. I'm trying to help you. If you tell me no, that's fine. I'll go to the next one with a smile on my face and a song in my heart. Successful people create their realities. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Successful people create a belief pattern that tells their story. Successful people write their story in combination with their belief pattern. Jim Rohn said it's not what you get in the end, but it's who you become in the going. It's not what you get in the end, it's who you become along the way. Michelle Tilson, are you a different person on March the 16th, 2023 than you were on January the 1st, 2023? Thank you, Lynn. He blessed me already. He woke me up and he got me up at 5 and said, I get to talk about creating your reality. I'm telling you what, that couldn't be. He's already blessed me. I'd show you my bare feet because I ain't got no socks off on, Lynn. He's already blessed my socks off. When we make the decision to not be a jellyfish, when we make the decision to not live our lives according to the circumstances that we're given, when we make the decision to not be tossed to and fro by the winds and the waves, when we make a decision to not just float on the boat, but actually direct where we're going, take the steering wheel, take the rudder, and make the decision to face the wind, make the decision to go in the direction of our dreams, to take one little step, to write one little sentence. Because guess what? I want to write a book. But if I never write the first sentence, I'm never writing the book. If I never write the first word, there's never going to be an end. If I never take the step in the direction of my dream, I'm never going to achieve it. Successful people create their reality. They create their realities with a combination of doing the small things over and over and over again. They create their reality by creating different thoughts over and over and over again. They create their reality by creating a different story, by telling a different story about themselves, telling a different story about their circumstances. You can't change what has happened. And there are things that are going to happen today that you can't change. But if you create enough emotion, you generate enough emotion, you combine that with enough thought, because I promise you, if I had it was 33 degrees when I woke up this morning. And if it would have been snowing and raining, you know what I would have done? I would have walked outside and I would have gotten a 45-minute workout in. I would have run over 4 miles no matter what, because the story I tell myself now is it doesn't matter what the conditions outside are. I'm still going to do it. I'm not there yet, but I've reached that point that I know no matter what the conditions are outside, I'm still going to do it. When we got home last night, when we got back from Brazelton last night for having meetings, it was after we got finished with dinner, we got home. I mean, it was 10:30-ish, 11-ish. I took a picture of the gym. I think it was 11:06. I had made the decision that I was going. Thank you, Michelle. That I was making the decision that I was going to work out. There was a short time ago. There was a time in the not too distant past where it would have been 10:30 at night, and I would have said, the only thing I want to do is go get in the bed. The only thing I want to do is go sit on the couch and watch Netflix. The only thing I want to do is go home and read a book. The only thing I want to do is not do what I'm doing right now. But I did it over and over and over and over again. I did that hard thing over and over and over again. I put enough of those hard things together over and over and over again that my thoughts changed about the hard thing. And now the emotion behind it is, hey, look, I got to go do this. I'm not quitting. I know if I go get started, I'll be fine. And so I could bitch and moan all I want to bitch and moan about not wanting to do it, about being tired, but this has been a long day. We started really early this morning. We've been in meetings all day. We've driven from Madison to Brazelton. Now we got to go back to Hartwell. I mean, I've got all this story that I can tell myself. I've got all the excuses that I can tell myself. But I've reframed that because all that now is just noise. Because my belief is different now than it was 76 days ago. My belief now is different than it was 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I've picked up my pen every single day and I've written more of my story. I've picked up my pen and I've created a new reality for myself. And here's what God's done. He said, I see you. Sorry, y'all. I see what you're doing. I see where you're going. But the conveyance that you're in right now, the car that you're in right now, is not going to get you to where I got to get you. Where you're headed, and where you're going, you can't get there in what you're in right now. So I'm going to take that away from you and put you in something else. I got to put you in something better. I got to upgrade you a little bit. Because where I want you and where you're supposed to be, you can't get there in this. That car don't float, son. I got to put you in something that floats. Because where you're going is way out there. Successful people create their realities. Successful people get up every single day and they do what has to be done. They write their story. They pick up the pen of their life and they write their story. They create a belief, a combination of their thoughts and emotions. And they believe that belief over and over and over and over again. Let the circumstances be what the circumstances are going to be. You can't control that. You can't control what life gives you. You can't control what's out there around you. You can control what you can control. Some people make the choice to go backwards. Some people make the choice to retreat. Some people make the choice to walk away. That's the story they tell themselves about themselves. That's the story they tell themselves about their belief. That's the belief they have about their life. That's the belief they have about their circumstances. Their belief may not be my belief. How they view the same situation may not be the same. He loves us too much to leave us where we are. He loves us too much to allow us to live less than our potential. He loves us too much. He loves us all too much to not put the things, the circumstances, to not discipline, to not change us, to not help us not be stubborn, to help us to change the way we think about life. He loves us too much for us to not live our full potential. We're moving on up to the east side. And I'm singing the song. I'm telling that song in my head right now. Because what he just did, and Lynn said it perfectly. The old ceiling is now our new floor. And that's the reality of the situation. The old ceiling is our new floor. And we're moving on up. And we're stacking. And we're growing. Guess what, y'all? The only thing constant is change. And we're either living or we're dying. So I choose to live. I choose to walk. Huh?
Do I get to be wheezy?
You can, baby, you know you're wheezy. You're my wheezy. You are my wheezy. Okay. I'm losing everybody. I thought I was doing pretty good, and everybody's gone.
Is everybody gone?
Everybody's leaving. The only thing constant is change. We're either living or dying. We're either going forward or going backwards. Movement and motion is perpetual. It never stops. This never changes. I love you, Lynn. It's not what you get in the end. It's what you become in the going. I want you to have a target. I want you to have a goal. I want you to have a destination. But understand that may look different in the end than it looks right now. It may look different in the end than it looks in the beginning. The story may change. The ending may be different. There may be some alteration to your ending. But I want you to understand you're not a victim of your circumstances. You're not a freaking jellyfish. I refuse to believe that we do not have the ability to change our reality. God created us in his image. That is in the Bible. Thank you, Messiah. Or I'm not who's I can't see who that is, but thank you, whoever that is.
That was me.
No, love you, baby. I refuse to believe that if we are created in God's image, that we do not have the ability to create a reality. I refuse to believe that if we are created in God's image, that he didn't give us the power to change what we do, change who we are, change the people around us, change the environments that we're in. I refuse to believe that we are a victim of our circumstances. I refuse to believe I'm a jellyfish. I truly believe if we are created in God's image, it is my birthday, Cynthia. I do believe that if we're created in God's image, Jesus said before he left this earth, he said, I leave here, but I give you greater power. I leave you the greater power than even I had. There's two indications, and I'm sure there's more. If I went and really, really searched them out, that there's more to let us know. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Vanessa. That there's more indications that we have the ability to create our reality. Here's what I'm asking you to do. Change the story you tell yourself about yourself. Change the story you tell yourself about yourself. You're a shark. You're not a jellyfish. You're not a rudderless boat floating around at the behest of the wind and the waves. You have a rudder and a steering wheel. Take control. Create the reality. Combine those thoughts with those emotions. Create new beliefs for yourselves. Create a new reality. for yourself. Create a new personal reality. You have the ability to alter your personality. You have the ability to alter what you see. You have the ability to change your environment. You have the ability to pick up the pen and rewrite your story. Because here's the beautiful thing. Second thing I know is the end isn't the end until you're in the end. The end isn't the end in the middle. The end is only the end when it's over, when it's finished, at the end. So if you wake up dead, it's the end. If you wake up with breath and you wake up with life and you open up your eyes and you can still look around and see, guess what? Go pick up the damn pen and go rewrite your story. Go pick up the pen, get the piece of paper, and start rewriting your story. Because here's the beautiful thing. Just because you pull up to the ocean and you're at the end of the road and all you see in front of you is the ocean, doesn't mean you're done. It just means you're done that direction. It doesn't mean you're finished. It just means you're finished that way. And God has this amazing way, this amazing ability to this neck that we have, and these eyes that he gave us. We can turn our neck and we can look another direction. We look another direction. And we can change our direction. Or maybe God says, hang tight, big boy. I got something better for you. Just give me a second. And then a big old boat pulls up and he says, that's for you. Go get on that thing. Successful people have the ability to create their reality. And that's what I want you to believe this morning. That's what I want you to take away from this morning. That's what I want you to do this morning. Thank you, Caitlin. I want you today to tell yourself a different story. I want you today to believe something better about you. I want today for you to take one thought that doesn't serve you, alter that thought to where it better serves you. Take one emotion that doesn't serve you. I want you to change that emotion so it better serves you. I want you to combine those two things into a belief, and I want you to walk out in that belief today. Just take one step, one little brick. Don't try to build the house today. Just get a brick. And then tomorrow, get you another brick. And then the next day, get you another brick. Because if you go talk to Michelle Tilson today, she stacked enough bricks along the way. She stacked enough boxes along the way. She stacked enough pieces along the way that she looks at herself differently on March the 16th, 2023 than she did on January 1st, 2023. I promise you she does. She feels differently about herself today than she did on January 1st, 2023. And I'm going to tell you something crazy. Here's the beautiful thing about it. Not only does she feel differently about herself, but her husband looks at her differently. Her husband, Jared, feels differently about her today than he did on January 1st because I texted him yesterday. Matter of fact, Michelle told Jared I'll call him back today. I texted him yesterday. And what he feels about his wife, I promise you, he loves her to pieces, and I love watching them together. But I promise you, the text message that he sent me yesterday, he views his wife completely differently now than he did then. And I bet you he may be a little scared of her right now. I'm just teasing.
I'm scared too.
He might be a little scared of Michelle. But I promise you, what she's done is she's not only affected herself, she's affected her husband. She's affected Violet because guess what? Her daughter sees how much of a badass her mom is. The people around Michelle see that. And Michelle's influence now influences other people around her because other people around her say, well, if Michelle can do it, I can do it. And so now other people around her, Kristen said, I'm kind of scared of Michelle. Y'all, successful people create their reality. Successful people can change their personality. Successful people can alter their personal reality. Successful people can create new thoughts. They can generate new emotions. They can create new beliefs. But guess what? It's not a monumental shift. It's an incremental shift. It's not a monumental change. Stop waiting for it to be a big splash. It's not a big splash. Life is a collection of the monotonous. Life is a collection of incremental change. Life is a collection of 1 inch by 1 foot, by 3 feet, by 2 feet. It's a collection of 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps. Y'all, I said this the other day, and I want to remind you. If I do my math correctly, and I'm gonna check my math because I'm not very good at math sometimes. My wife's really good at math. I'm not really good at math. But I'm gonna get my calculator out. So I've run or walked an average of 3.5 miles every day for the past 75 days. If I multiply 75 times 3.5, that puts me at 262 point something. If you told me right now, I want you to go run 262 miles, I would tell you that you're effing crazy. And there's no way I'm ever going to run 262 miles. But if you told me to go walk 45 minutes every single day, if you told me to go run 45 minutes every single day, I'd have told you you're crazy. If you told me to walk, I could walk that. But what I've done over the past 75 days is put 1 foot in front of the other. 1 foot in front of the other. One day after another. Just stacked one on the other. Stacked one on the other. 1 step after 1 step after 1 step after 1 step. Y'all, 262 miles that I have walked or run on my 2 feet in the last 75 days. Stop waiting for the big splash. Life ain't about big splashes. Life's about doing the small things, incremental, not monumental. Doing the mundane instead of the monumental. Master the monotony. Create your reality. Create new thoughts. Create new emotions. Combine those things together. It's not the end. It's who you become along the way. I could talk about this for hours and 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 hours because this is my passion. I believe this. I have seen this in my own life. I have watched this play out in my own life. I'm telling you this right now. I believe this as much as I believe anything about anything. Successful people, you have the ability to create your reality. So go do it today. Go find you a brick. Go get you a brick. Go stack a brick today. Go do something fantastic today. Create you a new belief. Alter your thought. Combine those together. Put those together, make a new belief today. Get you a new brick. Y'all, we're going big places. We're doing big stuff. Lock arm in arm with us. Let's go do this thing together. I love y'all. Be good. Be great. 75th outside workout done. Almost done with 75 hard today. Michelle, go get it. Go knock it out, girl. I'm so proud of you. I'm telling you, I'm so stinking proud of you. Those of you that are going to start, I'm telling you, it is life altering. It is mind altering. It is heart altering. If you've ever wanted to do 75 hard, go do it. I'm telling you, it will change who you are as a person because it's going to train you to stack a brick, and a brick. Stop letting life dictate where you go. You tell life where you're going. I love y'all. Be good, be great, be you. Have a fantastic Thursday. Love you guys. Be good, be great, be you. Bye.